Hello everyone, how are we doing today? My name is Angela and I am from Angela Wolf Video, and this is Video Tech Tuesdays. As live streams often are, it looks like I'm having like some slight technical difficulties possibly, but we're trying to go live on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Looks like we're just about up on everything, so very excited. Welcome everyone, and I wanted to say happy Tuesday. We're trying to get everything back in the groove of after a crazy week, so let's just dive right in to what we want to talk about today. So we're talking about how to prepare for an interview on video. Now, as always, feel free to comment in the comment section. Let me know if you have any questions while we're streaming. I've got a couple streams up all over my computer, so that's why I'm kind of looking from different sides. And I will do my very best to answer any of your questions. And if you're rewatching this not live, not a problem. Just use the hashtag replay in your comments so I know that you didn't get to have your question answered live, and I'll be sure to answer it next week. So, interviews. That's something that nobody really enjoys, right? It's always a little like anxious, kind of like creates a little bit of anxiety thinking about having to do an interview. But interviews in video is a great tool for all the different types of brand videos you might be looking to make. Angela Video does a ton of different types of interviews. You know, we work with CEOs to interview them about their companies for marketing videos. We have interviewed customers to create, client testimonial videos for people. We've interviewed workers, employees at a company to make a, why should you work here kind of a video to attract new talent. So we've done all different types of videos that incorporate interviews. Besides the brand purpose of doing interviews, now, because of COVID, we are doing a lot of job interviews over Zoom now, right? So something that before you would have to go in person to be interviewed, now we're doing all of that online with video. So this video today is going to be talking about, tips and tricks for whether you are getting in front of a camera to do a branded video, or if you're getting in front of the camera to do a Zoom interview for your next job. These tips are going to be able to help you along the way. So, where are we? Just making sure we're going? Yeah, I think we're mostly going. All right, perfect. So let's first talk about my very first tip for you guys today is let's talk about the physical things you need to do to prepare. Number one is eat about 30 to 60 minutes before. You don't want something big that's going to make you feel sluggish like a giant burrito, but you do not want to be hangry. And let me tell you how often, if I do not have a good meal right before I get on this live stream, I know I am just going to be hangry the whole time I'm talking. So make sure you have something light that will just kind of like satisfy any little cravings before you jump on. Another thing you want to make sure to do is to avoid soda or dairy. Soda is going to make you have bubbles and burp, and then dairy is going to clog your throat, make you very nasally. You don't want to start hacking during your video. So avoid soda and dairy when you're eating right beforehand. Now, obviously, you want to be awake and energetic, but you don't want to be jittery. So know what that means for your own body. Some people get very jittery after a couple cups of coffee. I personally would be asleep if I didn't have any coffee before I jumped on a call. So that's just kind of like my warning, is just to make sure that whatever you do to wake yourself up is that you don't give yourself too much caffeine. That's going to make you like on edge the whole time. And my next tip is to make sure you stretch, like physically, like get up and stretch your body. And that's going to be super important for just making sure that you have good posture, making sure you're ready to go and you feel physically ready. even though it's all virtual. And that's something that does tend to make doing a video interview hard, is it feels like you're just sitting and staring at something that's not giving you any feedback. So having a physical movement to get yourself ready and in that mindset is definitely a good way to just prep for the interview. And then, of course, if you have any notes, make sure you read them out loud. Being able to enunciate it out loud, to have your mouth practice saying what you want to say, is just as important as reading it in your mind. It's not the same thing if you just read something in your mind and go over it in your mind. You have to physically say it out loud. So speaking of doing some mental preparation, let's move on to how to mentally prepare for your job or any type of video interview. So, of course, always review your talking notes. Now, before I do any of my live streams, I go through everything I want to talk about, and I make bullet point lists, and I'm not reading from a script because I'm really bad at that. I do have bullet points that I make sure I hit and I can read throughout. So something like just having bullet points, even if it's not something you can read on screen, just that you have it written out, that you know what you want to say, and you can always glance down at it real quick if you ever feel like you lost your way in the middle of the interview. Also, next point is to do research. Make sure your research is pertinent to whatever your interview is. So if you're doing a job interview, always research the company. Make sure you have questions about the company and things you can talk about. If you're doing a video interview for your brand, make sure you research the facts, the numbers, the stats. If you are a brand that offers stress relief, either through therapy or massages or whatever it is, give the stats on how many Americans are stressed and how, doing a massage once a week, releases X amount of endorphins or whatever it might be, right? Throw in a little bit of stats so that you have it ready to go. And big one for mentally being prepared is to move the time up 15 minutes in your mind and in your calendar, all right? So if you have an interview going live at 1 o'clock, write it in your calendar as 12:45. So that way you're mentally ready to go 15 minutes before it starts, and that you're going to be on time, ready to be there, and your mind's ready to work. Otherwise, if you tell yourself it starts at 1, you're going to wait till 12:55 to get ready. I mean, I do. And then you're going to be like rushing and a little bit stressed, and you're not going to be 100% ready to go when 1 o'clock hits, and you're like, ah! So mentally and in your calendar, mark it 15 minutes early. Now, my next notes are about spatial preparedness, which is something you're going to need if you're doing a Zoom video interview. If you're having a professional videographer come and film you, they're going to probably take care of all the spatial stuff you need to do. So, that being said, some things to note if you are going to be on a webcam is watch your background. Make sure it's not a messy room. Make sure it's something that's plain and not distractible. Put your camera in between you and your light source. I always recommend windows if it's during the day. Turn off all the other lights in the room. Put the window, the camera, and then you facing the camera. So that way the window's light's on your face. Use a microphone. Any microphone is going to be better than no microphone. So even if it's just the headset that comes free with your phone that has the little microphone attached, use that. Because otherwise you're going to get a lot of background noise and it's not going to be great quality. And of course, use headphones so that there's no feedback whenever the person asking the interview or conducting the interview asks you a question. And last, kind of send the rest of your party members out for the time of your interview, if it's possible. I know this is not always an easy thing to do, especially right now when everyone's at home together. But if you can, say, hey, I've got a half-hour interview today. Husband, can you go take the dogs on a walk for that half hour so they're not going to be at home barking, and my husband won't be home on the phone, and it just kind of like leaves the house a little bit less busy, less stressed. Again, I totally understand that's not something everyone can do every time, but if you can, it's a great thing to arrange. It also helps with your stress level that you don't have to worry about, are my dogs going to start barking? And lastly is on camera when we're ready to go. Make sure, again, get ready, be ready 15 minutes early. Make sure you can see yourself on the camera. If you're doing it as with your webcam, look at what you look like through that specific camera, not just in the mirror. And if you're with a crew, they should be able to show you what you look like on the monitor. Always do good posture, which is what those stretches are going to help with. Roll back those shoulders, stand up straight, sit up straight. You're going to want to talk slower than you think you need to, and you're going to want to over-enunciate just a little bit. You don't want to sound cartoonish or wild, but people tend to talk a lot faster, one, when you're on camera, but two, it sounds like you're talking very fast when you play it back on camera. To yourself, you sound perfectly normal, and then you watch it back and the camera just feels like everything's jumbled up and very quickly and you can't really hear what you're saying. So, I know it's tempting, I know I do it all the time, but take that big breath and talk a little bit slower and make sure you're really pronouncing all of your words a little bit more sharply than you normally would. That was also a wonderful reminder to myself, since I've been running through this video today. I really didn't want to go too long over time, so I was talking very fast, and I just realized that. So everyone, just keep these as part of your notes so you can remember every time you jump on camera, because I do this every week, and I'm still so hectic about trying to get all my information out that I'll miss something. So, last one is to smile and look directly into the camera. If you have someone's interviewing you for the video, feel free to look at them while they're talking on screen, and then look directly into your webcam while you're addressing them, while you're answering the question. Now, if you're doing this video interview with professionals, ask them what they would like and stay consistent. Some videos have you looking at the interviewer the whole time, and some interviewers would like you to instead look into the camera lens. The main thing about being on camera with professionals is to keep it consistent. So do not do look at the interviewer, look at the camera, look at the interview, look at the camera, one of these things with your eyeballs. Don't do that. So whatever it is that they would like you to do, stay consistent and just look at that one spot. Those are all of my fun facts for today about being prepared for a video interview. Now, I will put the link in the comments to let you know on my blog post. I do have a couple of posts about being camera ready, so I will share those. Feel free to check out angelawolf.com/blog to find those. And that'll just go over things like what kind of clothes you should wear on camera, that kind of things we didn't really talk about as preparation. And my last other quick tip would just be that I didn't really mention it before, but when it comes to makeup, do what makes you feel comfortable. You want to feel comfortable on camera. So if you feel more comfortable wearing makeup, go for it. Me, I like the theory of makeup, but doing it myself actually gives me a lot of anxiety. I feel very rushed. I feel like I never do it right, and then I'm flustered by the time I'm done doing my makeup. So if you notice, I don't tend to wear makeup on my live streams, and that's why. So because of that, if that's what makeup does to you, absolutely do not put any on, because you do not want to feel flustered before your interview. But if you are going to feel more confident with makeup on, put it on. that's my little spiel about makeup. Otherwise, I think that's everything I wanted to cover for today. So as per usual, if you are looking to make a branded video, please go to bit.ly/AWV checklist. That will be a download of our free branded checklist. It just tells you what to do if you want to create a branded video. It's all of the pre-production parts of it. So what's your content going to be? How many cameras do you need? How many, people are going to be in the video? Who's going to be in the video? All of those questions that you're going to need to work out before you even start making any branded content. That's what this checklist is going to go over for you. And if you do that, you download it for free. And you're like, wow, Angela, still super confused? No worries. Give me a call at bit.ly/callawv. That's just my calendar. Schedule a free analysis with me, and I will help review what you need to know for videos and kind of give you kind of like an analysis of your project, what I think you're going to need for it, and what the scope is. So until next week, make sure you comment, you like, you subscribe, you do all that good stuff, and you follow us, and let us know what your questions are so that we can answer them every Tuesday at 1 o'clock on our live stream for Video Tech Tuesdays. All right, have a wonderful day, everyone.